Welcome everybody to episode 15 of the Next Gen Cattle Podcast. We're gonna change it up a little bit this week, and as you can see, we have a mystery guest on, so we're excited to see you guys, your reaction, and what you guys think. So enjoy.
And our supreme champion female is our national champion, Charlet. I feel the power of Kim Bullock.
She's not just a lady for a day, she's lady for life. Weekland lady, 211 H and Weekland bull, 41.
They've done it again. Our grand champion, supreme champion, Weekland Cattle Company. Did you feel the tremor? KR Tremor 70.
Welcome to the Next Gen Cattle Podcast.
If you're a cattle producer who understands that stress, environment, and transition directly impact performance, this will resonate. We're Kim and Jackie from Grow Your Life, where we support producers behind the scenes because regulated humans make clear decisions that protect the bottom line. We also teach AIM, the Animal Intuitive Method, a practical body-based system used with cattle herds to help animals settle, realign, and return to function during calving, weaning, hauling, breeding, and change. When people and animals are regulated, losses go down and outcomes improve. Find us at Grow Your Life with Kim and Jackie on Apple and Spotify and at aimhealing.ca.
Well, welcome everybody to episode 15 of the Next Gen Cattle Podcast. This week we have my beautiful fiance Samantha Hutchings on. So welcome, hon.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here. Usually I'm on the other side of the closed door, so it's fun that I get to be on this side.
Our most requested guest.
I don't
as
believe
well.
that. I don't
Well,
believe that.
You have been our most requested guest, so I'm glad that we get to talk about your story.
Okay. I'm nervous.
Just tell us, for those of the people who don't know, tell us about your story and kind of growing up.
Well, sometimes I'm a little embarrassed to admit it, but I am a city girl. I grew up in Spruce Grove and I started my life, I guess, in the pool. I was a competitive swimmer until grade 11, and that's where most of my focus went to. It brought me to a lot of cool places, and but agriculture was always a huge passion of mine, right up there. And when I retired, put the goggles down from swimming, I kind of went headfirst into horses. So I started with barrels and a little bit of breakaway, and then that took me to Lakeland College. It was the best decision of my life to go to that college. I met my best friends there, and it has now, I think, helped shape the person I am now. I met Abby, and then I got to work with Pete a little bit at Agribition, and that's when I really knew I wanted to start showing cows.
Then you met
And
the love of
I
your
then
life.
I also met Mitch, and then I really wanted to start showing cows because I had to look pretty cool around him. But yeah, so yeah, I guess that's a little bit about me.
Yeah. So how did you get involved other than meeting me in the show cattle industry?
So I would say my first start definitely was with Abby. I guess a little bit back goes to the limo side. I went to Farm Fair a couple times with Hillview, my godparents, and I absolutely loved it, but it is hard to get into it when you don't have the show cows in your backyard, or start with it. So I did a little bit of that. I knew I always loved it, but I didn't really know how to dive into it, I guess. And then I went with Abby and Pete's Agribition, and I knew I really liked it. I met you, and then watching you do everything, I knew I loved it. I just, again, I didn't know, we didn't have cows. I didn't know how to start. So I made a Facebook post on, I think it was a show cattle page that I was really interested in learning. Didn't really know much,
And at
but
that point, we didn't have any cows
no.
here either. Like, I
Yes.
had just moved here from Ontario, so we didn't, and I had sold all my cows. So when I moved out here, I didn't have any cows, or else we would have definitely kind of.
Yeah, yeah, but I had nothing. I didn't even have mock stock then to practice. I made a Facebook post and there was lots of people that reached out, which really surprised me. Um, I think it was just that I wasn't afraid to say that I don't know anything and I wanna learn, and I'm not gonna try to be a pro when I'm not, and it's okay to ask questions, and I know that I can work really hard, and I can learn fast, but I need an opportunity. And so I'm forever grateful for Ty Draves and Taylor Draves. They, took me out that year, and I got to see be a part of some really cool things. They had, that Simmental bred that year that she reserved the Agribition, and to be a part of a team that did that in my first year, it really, really I can't say thank you enough to them. And then, I mean, I'm sure as some people know, I'm a pretty bubbly personality. So at a lot of the shows, I just go out and I meet people, and I think that's one of the most important things to do is your connections and how you present yourself out there is it matters, and I am a happy-go-lucky person, but I want to bring a positive attitude everywhere I go, and I was very fortunate to make a lot of connections that year, and then I went out with Justamere. I'm forever grateful for them as well, and now we're starting to do our own thing over here, so it's exciting.
Yeah, it's great, and especially for me to watch you, especially when I moved out here because we didn't have any cows, it was hard, and I remember lots of conversations when we would talk and it would be like, "Well, how do I get my start?" And I'm like, "You just have to get out there," but at that time for me, it was hard to get you out there because we didn't have any cows, but I'm definitely very proud and to see how far you've come from the start, not really ever being a part of it and then getting to where you are now. It's really cool.
Well, thank you. Sometimes it's kinda crazy how fast it all happened, but I definitely believe in manifesting and just having a good attitude with it all and wanting to learn. I think if you're the smartest person in the room, you need to go to a different room because you can always learn and grow, and I think I can't wait to keep learning, and I've had great opportunities still coming, so it's fun.
For sure. Who do you think your biggest inspiration is in general, like whether it's cattle or life?
I think this might sound a little bit silly, but she doesn't show cows, but her name is Trisha Aldridge, and she is a barrel racer, and she has been a huge inspiration the last couple years to me of a person that started just like me with nothing, and no knowledge in it, no people before. It's pretty cool to see that it's possible. I enjoy all of her posts, and I find them very inspiring, but she is a huge inspiration to, I think, anybody that doesn't matter what your goal is you can get there. I think another person is probably you, Mitch. You, uh, you also started from nothing. You came from a family that really supported you, but didn't have a doorway open for you. You had to kinda open your own door and make your own path, and that's to live with someone who's so innovative and inspiring and wants to always improve and think of the newest thing in the best way, and I mean, I can never be a slacker around here with you because you're always on to the next thing, so I think you help inspire me every day.
Oh, well, thank you. Why do you think the show cattle came so naturally to you? Like, I know right from the get-go, I remember it was like it would have been spring forward of 2020. All the dates aren't on the banners. 2023 maybe? 2023. That would have been the first show that you would have came to in Ancaster, and I remember you coming in, it was just like you just, like, knew. Like, it was just, like, very, like, naturally came to you. Do you think that was just from, like, growing up or being at Lakeland or
I have always been an observer. I think I always walk into a room and I notice everything, I look how everything's done, and I pay attention, and then I put it to practice. So I think if I really like something and I knew I really liked showing cows, I just had to watch and learn and then start doing it.
for sure? Um, and this kinda for me is the absolutely crazy part about kind of your whole, show cattle adventure too. Maybe talk about the time you've spent down south and, how it's become or how that's helped you become the person you are today and, how particular you are and how much you like blowing and
Well, I wouldn't say I love it, but it's part of it. I yeah, I think this all just comes to not ever having any fear, and from when I made a Facebook post to be a person that knew nothing and just wanted to be a part of the show industry, and then, I kinda had an opportunity in my life where I didn't have to be tied down to a job at that moment, and I wanted to take that opportunity and do something with it. So, I, messaged our good friends, Justine and Tyler. Justine's sister married a Texan down in the States, and I thought, "What the heck? Why not just try to see if I can go down there and see some shows?" I think how they do things down in the States is unbelievable, and seeing it seeing it through your phone, but I wanted to see it in person and, again, learn just to be in the room with some of those guys and be able to watch how things are done, and so, I can't thank Justine for hooking me up with Mark Kelly, and, I went down there for a couple months. I stayed at their place and then went to all the shows, which was unbelievable, and how they do things. I mean, there's not a lot of people that can get an animal ready like Mark can, so it was pretty cool to watch. And then the very last show, almost the last day, um, a man named Gerald Buck came up to me and said that, he wanted me to join the crew. He was watching me work, and we may or may not have had a few drinks the night before at the White Elephant, and I think that just has to go with me going being I guess, the bubbly. I wasn't afraid to meet people, and I wanna learn, and I think connections in this industry is huge, and just to know that you shook someone's hand and make it big enough impression for them to remember you, I think is really important. And, I really wanted to do that while I was down there and meet as many people as I could and just to meet them and learn from them and learn their cattle and hopefully maybe even have some genetics up here in Canada one day, and that worked in my favor, I guess, meeting Jurl and, yeah, he said, "So you're coming to Medill, Oklahoma, right?" And so I said, "Well, I gotta make a quick phone call home first." To, uh, to call a favor and ask if I can stay for another couple months, and I can't say thank you enough to Mitch. He let me go. So I came home for a week, flew back down, risked the border. They let me through, and, yeah, I stayed till the end of the sale, so I just helped break babies, picture, video, and, yeah, a lot of blowing for sure, a lot of washing. It's also really fun when you get to go to an operation like that and see their cow herd and how everything's run on that side, because you can go to a million shows with people, and, I mean, sometimes they just start to become the same. Everyone does a little bit things a little bit different, but when you can go stay at an operations house for a couple months, you really, really learn how things are done and what you wanna do too to make your operation better, especially one from, like, that caliber. So, I was completely honored to have been able to stay right at their house, and, I guess they liked me enough that I got to come back. So I went down this year and did the whole show run with them this year. So we did Congress, Denver, Fort Worth, and then I'm home now for a couple weeks, and I'm headed back down if the border lets me.
you're not working though. You're
Oh,
just
right, right.
visiting friends
Just
down
visiting friends.
there.
I hope
uh,
ICE doesn't listen to this podcast.
different departments. What do you think your favorite show down there was that you went to? With, like,
I
either Mark or Drew?
I don't think anything can ever beat Denver. I mean, Congress is really cool that it's just a cattle show, and the best of the best really do go there, and it was a really cool experience to be able to be a part of Supreme there, and we ended up getting to win it, which was really fun. Um, but I don't know, there's just something about the yards, I think maybe the amount of Canadians in Denver make it just a little bit better too.
The Harvey
Oh,
parties?
yes, nothing like the Harvey parties. Um, yeah, I and the Junior Supreme they did there this year is, I think, really gonna help that show, and unfortunately, I was already back in Oklahoma, so I didn't get to watch it, but we watched online, and everyone wanted to be you wanted to win your junior breed to be a part of that Supreme, and I think that's super exciting, and Fort Worth is just it's so chaotic, it's cool. The rodeo is unbelievable, but it is busy. It's a lot there. But I think in hand with that, there's nothing like the Fort Worth Steer Show. So if you're into that, I think that's a show you gotta see too.
For sure. Do you think it's, like, similar to the Royal or busier?
Well, I would say it's probably feels as busy, but it's like 10 times bigger
Right.
because there's so many barns, and then there's the horse barns. Oh, yeah, it's just and then the shopping. Oh, there's nothing like Fort Worth
You
shopping.
didn't shop while you were there, did you?
No, no.
What, your favorite moment in the show cattle industry other than meeting the love of your life?
Hey, you met your love of your life.
Exactly.
I don't know, there's a lot of really good moments, I think. One this might sound a little bit silly, but I think a little bit of a, "Okay, maybe I do know what I'm doing" moment, and we can really do something was at Olds this year with our Shorthorns. Well, not ours, the lovely Schutz family trusted us enough to get their Shorthorns ready for them, and it was pretty fun to win each division and then reserve the whole female show. But winning Supreme at Congress was pretty cool with Bucks too. That was pretty fun.
For sure.
Shout out all that.
And I'm pretty sure if you have Sam on Snapchat or Facebook or Instagram or text, everyone probably knows this already, but, well, who is your favorite animal that we have
Well,
here?
there's this beautiful black Angus named Brenda that I am forever grateful for. She is my very first heifer that I have ever owned, and I bought her from Jurl from his spring sale. And yeah, I cried, he cried. It was really fun, and he knew how important that was to me. And yeah, now she's a little queen up here. She's my queen.
To say the least.
She's pretty special though. I think it's a pretty cool first heifer to start our herd, and I think she's gonna do some pretty amazing things.
For sure, for sure. I remember the first time you sent me a picture and you're like, "There's this Angus heifer that, like," 'cause when Sam was staying in the sale barn, all the guys and gals would be done work, so Sam would just go and sit in the sale runs and FaceTime me or call me or whatever, and she would just be laying there under the Oklahoma sky, and then there would just be this Angus heifer that would come up and, like,
I hung out with her every single day in the
yeah,
run.
it would, like she'd kinda come up and look at the camera and be like, "Oh,
Well,
this is this Angus heifer that I'm gonna try to buy," and
I told you I'm really big in manifesting, and I manifested that every single day. I'm gonna bring this Angus home.
it's kind of a crazy story because, like, she had called me a few times and, well, we talked every day, but she would call and say, "Oh, this Angus heifer, I really like this Angus heifer. I'm gonna try to buy her," and, at that point in time, I was kinda like we didn't really know where our path was kinda going with cows or whether we were gonna get some or what, so I was like, "Oh, like," and she was pretty nice, so I was like, "Don't be too excited," like, we didn't have a crazy budget, and with the dollar being so bad and everything, we're like well, I was, in Alberta, I was like, "Ah," like, I said, "Don't be disappointed if you don't get her," and then I'm watching the sale, and then it's like, "Well, that one's going north. Thanks, Sam." So
Yeah.
it's a pretty cool story for sure.
I mean, everyone goes to Buck for a Hereford or a Maine, but he's got some pretty cool Angus stuff happening there. And, yeah, I when he put out that sale order the night before, and she was the first one through the ring, I was like, "Gerald, what are you doing? How am I gonna get this?" He said, "Don't worry. I did that on purpose. It's all gonna work out." And it did. It was great.
What, what's one goal that you have within the cattle industry?
Huh. I don't know if I can narrow it down to one goal. I think I need to maybe be a bit better with my vision boards and focus on one goal. But I definitely have a few. I think my biggest goal and it's gonna take years and years and being able to learn from the best, but I would like to be the place that people can go to for good stock, good genetics. I really, really wanna have our own sale one year and have enough here that we can have a sale. Um, but I mean, I'd love to kind of bring some things up from the States that I think are really cool, like the calf raising. I would love to have an operation like that where we can run a bunch of recips, and keep on also with the custom side and so many goals. I appreciated people that lent a helping hand to get me to where I am, and I wanna be that person now for juniors, and I think that's what also motivated me on the Mapleview Livestock blogs and the website, and I think that's another big goal of mine is to be be a place that people can go to for good stock, but also good advice, and sometimes like, just free advice and knowing that they can trust what someone's telling them, and if they wanna learn, I would l like, the door is always open, and, yeah, just being able to be that branch out for people who it can be scary. It can be a really scary industry when you don't know what you're doing, and I just would love to be that branch that people can grab onto.
Well, and I think for both of us too, like I think that's the whole idea with the podcast is, to give that avenue or voice for people who might not be the biggest breeder or have the biggest sale or any of those things, but for people who still have a lot of interesting things going on. And Sam always bugs me because I think it was the first intro. It was like cool people doing cool things. And she always bugged me for that. But it is, whether you're 70 years old or you're 12 years old or 10 years, whatever it is, everyone has goals. And I think for us, it was to give everyone an avenue to tell their story and to, regardless of where you came from or what breed, or if you grew up showing cows or grew up showing chickens, like that everyone has a cool story. You can come from any background and end up anywhere
Yeah,
if you put your mind to it.
I think everyone has a cool story and everyone can start at any time something different and make their own story and write their own path, and it's never too late, and it can be scary, and yeah, I love listening to all the people who are our age and starting out or taking over something and making it their own thing as well. It's really exciting.
For sure. If you were stuck showing one breed for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Huh, that's hard. We, well, we're gonna be dabbling in a few this year, so I guess I'll maybe really narrow it down by the end of the year, but I think American Herefords are pretty damn cool, but and there's some really good Canadian Herefords now coming out, but I don't know if I love Hereford hair enough to do that for the rest of my life.
Definitely not.
So, I'm gonna have to stick with Angus, but
Good decision.
yeah, Maines would be up there though.
Maines would be fun.
I think there's a huge opportunity for Maines in Canada. If we can get some genetics up here, I think they're a pretty cool animal that has a really fun potential to it.
For sure. What's one thing that you want us as a team to focus on in 2026 with our own operation?
Well, I think this kind of goes with what I was saying before of being a place people can go to for advice or I mean, heck, I don't know half the amount of stuff. I'm always learning but I think having a social media presence this day and age is important if you want to do well. And I think it's really fun to promote our industry to people outside of our industry. There's so many people that stop at Agribition, the Royal, Fort Worth, and they just don't understand like how much we actually love these animals and how well they're treated. And I think it's really cool to show that on social media. But I also think having a social media presence helps you grow as a operation within your industry. So I think, I mean, we're kind of there with the Maple View and the blogs, but maybe I need to start making TikToks. I keep saying I'm going to do it.
I think you've mentioned before the day in the life thing, and I think that would be really cool. Like a
Yeah.
day in the life watching, you know, someone wash 10 head or, a day in the life of, what Sam does or what Mitch does, I think would be
Yeah, and just yeah, I think it'd be fun, and the an operation that I think does a really, really good job with marketing is Griswold's, and, she's not afraid to just talk about what's happening, and I love watching her videos, learning what they're doing, and,
and I think the interesting thing too, we all go through the same stuff. Like, you might think, like, oh, it's, you post something or someone posts something, you're like, "Oh, like, that's kinda weird," but everyone's doing it. We're all going through the exact same, motions every day of what we're doing, but you're just seeing how someone else might do something or whatever is kinda how you learn and how you,
yeah,
shape your kinda way of doing things, or you might learn something or any of
and
that,
I
so
I hope it inspires people to join this industry too, like, I mean, we can't keep selling our cattle to each other, we need other people and other investors in this industry to keep it growing, and I was really, really, fortunate enough to be able to accept, Harvey's Champion of the World at Fort Worth, and, GKB did a speech there that also inspired me, but how important juniors are in our industry, and it is obviously huge in the States. The junior shows are you almost wanna win your junior show more than your open show sometimes, but, um, I think that that is a huge that and he had a really good point that if your breed isn't focused on your juniors, your breed is a dying breed. It really matters, and I think social media is also a way to those juniors, but sometimes with those juniors also bring investors, and that's the only way that this cattle industry can keep growing, and yeah, I think it can be fun if you expand the horizon a little bit.
for sure, for sure.
But I think also I'd like to do was well in the show ring this year with you.
That would be fun. If we could have a year like last year, that would be pretty good,
Yeah, I'd be grateful. I'm just grateful to be here.
for sure. Well, we'll do the fiance gets hosted now. So if you have
Okay.
a question for me, I would do my best to answer.
What is your biggest goal this year for our operation?
My biggest goal this year, I think, would definitely kinda to get everything set up so it's easy. Like,
Yes. I should have put that.
I think, moving to the place we're at now and basically starting from total scratch with nothing, I think we made do with what we have, but I think there's a lot of things that we can kinda change to make, easier and more efficient. So I think that's one thing that
100%. I think how you set up your barn, how you set up your runs, your yard, how you feed. If it if it's gonna be a pain in the butt to get heifers in every day, you're not gonna be motivated to get in there and wash heifers every day. And I think if you go to a I mean, it you can't you can't be those big operations tomorrow, but if you can set up your yard and properly and make it easy, it makes your life way more fun.
and boys, if you put a TV in your wash rack that they can watch what's the show you watch?
Love
Love
Island.
Island on, there will be a lot of cows washed, and there will never be any question about washing because they can just watch whatever, reality TV show they want.
Wow, you really called me out there.
I've told people before on the podcast that that's what's happened. Um, well, we're kinda gonna switch up the rapid fire for this or that.
Okay.
Washing or blowing?
I'm gonna have to say blowing because I'm very particular on working hair.
I can second that.
I yeah, I'm like a Nazi about it, so it just better for everyone if I just do it.
Which I'm also very thankful for because I am not particular when
Yeah,
it comes to
Mitch's
blowing.
version is get him 3/4 dry and let him sit under the fan, and that'll do the rest.
That's right. Efficiency is what I like to call it. Weaver or Sullivan? Yeah,
I I think they're both really great. I think Weaver's actually coming out with some pretty exciting things lately. Maybe more in the States. Canada really needs to get their button gear and get some of the stuff up here, but I don't know. I'm actually really loving the Weaver Pro blowers versus the Beast these days. but I'm gonna have to go Sullivan's. The trailer's always there.
Yeah. I would say Sullivan for show day,
Yeah.
like glue, paint.
Hey,
That
there's some good new Weaver glue though.
that is true. But I think in terms of like daily hair care, I think Weaver for sure
Yeah,
does
and I don't think there's any better red paint than Weaver paint.
than Weaver. That is true. Summer or winter?
Oh,
Not that you've been here for a
yeah.
winter for the last 2
I
weeks.
would definitely say summer because that is another motivating, reason why I like to go down there is I get to go there when there's nothing happening here and it's -40, so
I will say there was a couple days this year where it was actually warmer here
yes.
than it was in
Fun fact,
Oklahoma or
it was
Texas, or
I was in an ice storm and a snowstorm while Mitch was in +5.
it was the best.
Yeah, it was
That was great karma.
at least
Uh,
it only lasts 2 days, not 4
this
months.
is true. This is true. Breakfast or supper?
Definitely breakfast. I'm the waffle girl.
We
Yeah,
should do that. We should do a breakfast at Farm Fair, and Sam can make waffles for everybody.
that would be fun if I remember the crock pot.
Yeah.
There's,
No,
I like to bring
Sam's a
food
preparer. She loves to be prepared.
and, except I missed one important step. I made all of these crock pot meals, put them in the bags, and, I forgot the crock pot, so that was pretty useless.
But it all worked out.
It
We still
we
had
still got
lunch.
it. We still got it.
We're gonna post this question on Facebook and Instagram for a poll, but we thought we would start with Sam. Blowing breakers while you're blowing, or someone spraying you in the wash rack?
Like, what do I hate more?
Yeah,
Oh, I hate blowing breakers.
yeah.
Oh, especially at shows where you don't know where the breaker is. Oh, it's hey, actually, shout out Congress. They made an app. So each of your like rows are, and you have a designated stall number, and you just put your stall number when you blew a breaker, and within like 5 minutes, they'd have it fixed for you.
Really?
You just like did like a jot note.
That's pretty
My
cool.
breaker's blown, but yeah, oh, I hate blowing breakers.
I think it was Katie that also hated blowing breakers too.
Yeah, I'd rather just you can spray me in the wash rack if I never blow a breaker again.
Well, thanks for coming on, hun. That was fun.
Thanks for having me.
I'm glad that we got to do it.
Yeah. I think you I'm really proud of you. I think what you're doing is amazing, and I'm loving listening to all of the people, like I said, that are in the same boat as us and starting fresh or starting over, and yeah, it's super fun to listen to what's up and coming.
Exactly.
I think you're doing something amazing for the show cattle industry.
Thanks, hon.
Also, check out Mock Stock.
Yeah, hopefully.
That's also Mitch's next really cool adventure.
Yeah, we're pretty excited. It's the support's been awesome. So thank you guys for the support so far. And
There's always something new happening in Mapleview.
that's right. Every day. Well, thanks, son. I appreciate it. I love you.
Love you.
Well, thanks guys for tuning in to episode 15. It was a blast having Sam on, and to get to share her story with you guys. It was great for her to do that. So be sure to stay tuned to the socials. We're gonna put this poll out to see what you guys would hate more, blowing breakers or getting sprayed in the wash rack. And we have a guest coming on in the next couple weeks that we're real excited about. And we're going to do a little bit of a theme segment. So we need you guys to drop one thing in the comments on a post that we'll make that would make showing cattle better. So whether it can be totally unhinged, whatever you guys think. So we'll put the post out this week. So thanks guys for tuning in, and we'll catch you next time.